We're so happy to bring you another episode of Asher and God. Yeah, our job, which I really call my job, and I'm so happy to say is my job, is to present Africa to everybody on a platter of gold. Africa is beautiful. You know, we're doing our very best to make Africa home again. We hope you do the same as well, because Africa is the only place we have. Africa has not been touched. Africa is waiting for you and me to make it home again. So we're on our journey to building our property, developing our property in Ghana. We live in the UK and we're thinking about going back home. We hope you want to do the same as well, because when you look around, you know what time it is. It's time to go back home. So let's make Africa home again. So Kingsley will be telling us more about the story of our building. Kingsley?
Yes, indeed. Make Africa home again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about, we continue our story about the cost of building in Ghana. Today, we want to focus mainly on the superstructure. Yes, the superstructure. Now, some would say, what do I mean by superstructure? Well, you have the substructure and you have the superstructure. The substructure of a building is basically the foundation. Everything you do up to the foundation. So we've talked about the foundation, we've talked about the substructure. Now we finished that. If you haven't watched our previous videos, please go back and watch them so you can understand where we are. We're now starting the superstructure, so we're going to talk to you about the block work from the foundation ground and upwards. Well, hey, good.
That's the exciting bit, because once the foundation is done, you want to see the structures rising. Yeah, that was fun for me.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's fun because it tends to move faster with the block work.
Yeah, it tends pretty fast.
You can see your rooms forming, etc. But anyway, you know, we'll see that in a minute. So the first thing after your ground floor concrete has been cast and is dry, your builder will attend site and will begin to mark out the plan of the rooms on the ground floor slab. Now, this is a very important stage. Obviously, they're doing it according to the drawings you've given them, but it's very important to inspect what they do. Yeah. Because, you know, human error can come in, they can make a mistake, or maybe sometimes it's not your design on paper may not be exactly what you build. You may make changes.
He may make changes.
No. Well, the builder may make changes based on, you know, certain experience, certain factors, or you as the one who the house belongs to may want to make it bigger.
To tweak one or two things.
Exactly. Yeah. We, you know, for example, we tweaked our kitchen a bit.
Yes, we did.
And we tweaked also.
I'm so fussy. Yeah. I wanted this and that in my kitchen. At the end of the day, it's going to be my home, you know, forever until death do us part. Or hey, Yeshua comes.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I wanted to make it to my taste.
Exactly, and we wanted to also change where the door position was for the guest bedroom downstairs. All those changes were not actually in the plan, but we made those changes as the builder was marking up. So it's not too late. You can still make the changes at some point during the build. So after the builder marks up where all the walls are, it's now a simple case of the masons and the labourers building the blockwork, okay, from the ground floor slab all the way up to the lintel level and building around the door and window openings. Now,
do you know what I want to say? Would you like to share with our audience what the lintel level is?
Oh, I'm about to say that.
Okay, wait. All right.
Coming to that, yes, that's right. Patience is a virtue. But the blockwork that's used from the ground up in Ghana is typically 4-inch hollow blocks. Yeah, 4-inch hollow blocks, a bit lighter compared to the foundation where we used 6-inch quarry dust blocks. So just bear that in mind. So on your screen at the moment, I would like to share. I'm sharing with you now a video of the masons and the labourers getting to work, starting the block work. The masons delivering the cement, if you like, and the labourers delivering the cement and the masons doing the block work. There's also a couple of pictures also where you can see what the lintel level is. Now, to answer my wife's question now, the lintel basically, how can I describe it? The lintel is a horizontal piece of concrete, reinforced concrete. It has iron rods in it and concrete in it, and you install it above windows and doors. Okay, and the reason why it's installed above windows and doors is those are vulnerable areas in terms of their weak areas compared to the other areas of the structure. So above a window, you put the lintel before you build the wall for the first floor, so that the weight of the wall on the first floor doesn't come directly on the window, but it comes onto the lintel. The lintel takes the weight of the wall on the first floor. Lintel above the windows and above the doors is to take the weight of the walls that are above the next level above and distribute it to the sides, around the sides of the windows and the doors, so that the weight doesn't come directly on the windows, because the windows, which will be aluminium frames, are weak points. So lintel is really a structural element of the building. Yes, and you can see from the pictures that are coming across your screen, you can see the formwork, which is done by the carpenter, which is really used to use various planks of wood, boards, plywood, which is above the windows and the doors, and also around the column positions. Remember those starter pillars that are from the foundation going all the way up, they obviously become columns, and the carpenter puts planks of wood around it. And you can see I'm showing you pictures, examples of all of those things. After the carpenter does his formwork around the lintels and the columns, then the steel bender who comes along to bend the iron rods.
That's a tough job.
It's a very tough job. Very tough. So the steel bender comes to fix the iron rods in the lintels. In the lintels, because remember the lintel is a reinforced concrete, which is concrete with iron rods, and it also comes along to continue the iron rods, the pillars, to continue them all the way up to the ceiling of the ground floor. It continues all of that. So once the steel bender is done, okay, then the masons will come back and fill the lintel and fill the pillars with concrete. And I'm showing you a video right now where you can see some of our workers. This was actually on a Sunday, so pretty hard working guys, and they were filling the one particular concrete with one particular column with concrete, as I just explained. So you can see in the video coming up on your screen right now. So now we've built up the blockwork to the lintel level. We've poured concrete on the lintel. We've poured concrete into the columns. We are now at the roof of the ground, the roof of the ground, just above the ceiling of the ground. And what needs to happen next is the carpenter needs to form the roof. Okay, the carpenter needs to form the roof, and he forms the roof using plywood and what we call in Ghana wawa boards. Wawa boards. I think they're 2x4 wawa boards. Okay, you see them in some pictures coming up on your screen now, and those wawa boards are put together. They're put together to form the level of the roof above the ground, and then they are supported from the ground by bamboo sticks. Okay, and the bamboo sticks must be cut at the height that you want your roof to be. We chose 10 foot to have at least 10 feet floor to ceiling height. That way our ceiling can be at, let's say, 9.5 feet, and then our doors can be at about 9 feet. Because one tip there, guys, that the higher the ceiling and the higher the doors, the bigger the space feels. You've seen a number of I mean, you made that decision really because you saw a number of other house videos houses, and you liked the that sort of height. Because
what I did was I began to, because we hadn't done this before, we wanted to have great ideas, modern ideas as well. So I started watching videos on YouTube about houses, modern houses. So I got the idea, and then we implemented it.
Exactly. When you're building your own house, you need to do your own research and help the builder along the way, especially on the continent, because obviously the builder, he's used to constructing things in a certain way, the Ghanaian typical way, and you may not want exactly that. You may want elements of it, but you may want to give it a bit of a contemporary flavor, or let's say an American or European flavor to it, or Canadian flavor, whatever it is that you decide.
Just what you desire, basically, just to make you feel at home.
Exactly.
Just give you your own personal touch.
Exactly. Help that transition away from where you are now back to the motherland. So there are more pictures on your screen, a video as well, showing you how the bamboo sticks are arranged and how they support the roof structure before the concrete is poured. Now, when the steel bender is doing all the steel bender then comes after the formwork is done. The steel bender then comes to put all the iron rods in as well, and you can see pictures coming up on your screen, a video coming up on your screen as well of all the iron rods that are put into the roof of the ground, because those iron rods will reinforce the concrete that will be poured later on. Now there are beams in place. Now beams are typically what support the slab. You know, sometimes when you're standing on the ground floor, you look up, you can see the beam structure like that. But there is a way. If you want to have a flat ceiling or a flat roof, you can ask the builder to do a secret beam, which is basically the beam that is hidden away in the roof structure, that still provides the same amount of support, but then is much more aesthetically pleasing from the ground because the ceiling is nice and flat. So that's what we went for in certain areas, secret beams. Okay, so now the formwork has been done, the steel bender has put all the iron rods in. It's now time for the electrical, PVC pipes and plumbing pipes to be installed. Okay, these in the UK we call them conduits. It's the same sort of thing, PVC pipes, and basically the pipes need to go in for the light fixtures. This is very important because the cables will go through the pipes to provide power to the lighting, and pipes for the fans. Maybe in Ghana very hot, so you're going to have ceiling fans, so you need pipes to carry the cables for those ceiling fans as well. And also the fans themselves need to be fixed in position, so you need to have what we call fan hooks, and typically the builder will buy fan hooks which can also be made of iron rods that are fixed through the ceiling, so that when the concrete is poured it is fixed firmly in place. Because obviously fan, as it's whizzing around very fast, it vibrates, and you don't want to just screw it in, because that screw will become loose over time and become a significant hazard. So you put in place a fan hook within the iron rod structure and then concrete over, so that the fan is now supported by something that is significantly firm.
Yeah. Do you know that, remember that you designed the electrical fittings? I'm sorry, electrical design
of the building, circuitry and all that, yes.
Yeah, it was very interesting because every now and again you had to call the builder to explain a thing or two to him, because it wasn't quite what he was used to.
Exactly, exactly.
And again, what I liked about it is that when he designed it to our taste and comfort, and he made sure that everything was going to be very perfect for us. And he was so cautious about the safety of the house as well, because if it's not properly designed, if it's not installed properly, there's a risk of fire in the house.
Especially when it comes to electrical stuff.
Yeah, which is very dangerous. So yeah,
exactly that. And also in Ghana, like I said, they have set ways of doing things, and being an electrical design engineer, when I looked at the way they wire up their electrical systems, there's quite a bit of wastage in there. So I designed our building to minimize that waste and to save us money as well. And sometimes it's not that easy communicating that to the guys over there, because they have a fixed way of doing things, and they tell you, oh no, it can't be done that way, no it doesn't work, can't. And then you have to sort of have the conversation back and forth, and then they finally realize that, oh yes, actually you can do it this way.
It could be a bit of a pain, really, because there's something I noticed with our African people. When you tell them what you want,
oh yes,
they want to give you what they want instead. Yeah, especially when you go to salon, you tell them what you want, but they give you something else.
Yeah.
So it could be very annoying.
Frustrating,
yeah, frustrating as well. So I think it's a bit of we have to communicate, and we have to understand that your job is to give people what they need, because that's what you're paid for, isn't it? And if you think that something has to change, you have to communicate that and let the person understand, rather than just like this is how it's going to be. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That way, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And I think occasionally you have to get a bit tough,
Yeah.
Occasionally, no, this is what I want. Sorry, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You're the one paying the bucks, so this is what you want, and You know, you must have what you want, value for your money. Right, yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we communicated, and
Yeah.
you know, he got it.
Exactly.
You know, though we went back and forth a few times.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Exactly.
That's okay.
Exactly. And I mean, I'll talk about the electrical story in another video, but yeah, that's another story in itself. To actually be able to select the right electrician was fairly tough. But anyway, so back to today's video. So in addition to all the electrical pipes going in for the electrical cable and fan hooks, you also need to make sure all the plumbing pipes are going in. The pipes that will connect to your toilets on the first floor, your showers and basins and everything. All that needs to go in, because it goes through the iron rods, it goes through the concrete before it's concreted and fixed in place. You cannot afford to forget that. Okay, because if you forget it, then you're in trouble. That brings me to something that our builder unfortunately did forget, which is pretty annoying, and that was the fan hooks. The fan hooks that I mentioned earlier, our builder forgot to put them in. What did that mean? It meant that after the concrete had been poured, we had to go back and drill the concrete, physically drill the concrete to put the fan hooks in retrospectively, and then concrete on top of it. Yeah, so not a complete disaster. There's a way around it, but obviously that cost us a bit more, labor and a bit more time. You know, so unfortunate, but not too big a deal. Just something to watch out for again when you are building, or if you are building yourself. Yes, and that's why it is important to visit your site on a regular basis. If you're not around,
we're not there, so if we're there, would have pointed out a few things, but they're doing so well. I can't complain.
Exactly.
Really,
we have a trusted.
We're really grateful for what they're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you're right. We have a trusted project manager out there who is looking after stuff for us, which is a blessing, a significant blessing.
Yeah, it is indeed. We thank the Most High
for that. So now the pipes are in for the electrical, the pipes are in for the plumbing, the fan hooks are in. The carpenter returns to site and puts the edges onto the formwork. If you remember in our last video, Foundation Part 2, we were talking about the formwork around the edges, so that the concrete doesn't spill over. So the same thing applies to the, if you like, the roof of the ground floor, which is called, in Ghana they call it the decking. So let's call it the ground floor decking, or the floor sometimes they call it. You put put timber around all the edges, and that's closing the formwork to the height of the concrete that is about to be poured. Okay, on the first floor. Okay, now came to the more exciting part as well, and that is pouring the slab, or the ground floor decking. Okay, and
so how long did it take us to get it to that top, to the ceiling top?
From the foundation to the...
No, not from the foundation. Okay, how long with the foundation, first of all?
The foundation?
Was like a month, wasn't it?
The complete foundation, I think it was about 6 weeks. 6
weeks, more than a month.
Yeah, I think about 6 weeks, yes.
Now, the structure up to the ceiling.
The structure from the foundation to the ground, that was quick. Because block work is very quick. You just because once you set it out in the beginning, then you just bang 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 bang, it's just on top of each other. So from the ground to the lintel level was about 2 weeks.
Wasn't it? It was very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Very quick.
But then the lintel and the slab work took a little bit of time.
Lintel and the slab, that probably took another
3 weeks.
No, it wasn't that long. The steel bender was very good. Our steel bender was very good. Yeah. So the formwork and the iron was. He did it in a week. So so altogether about another week and a half. About a week and a half, and then we were ready to cast the concrete. So pretty. Some things take a bit longer. Some things are quite fast. Block work is very fast. Very fast. I always get recommendations when it comes to the trades as well. Quite good.
See, when you see the block work, that's when you know that the house is coming, it's taking shape.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
Exactly. You can see your dreams. Coming into fruition. You know. So, guys, I talked about the concrete sand gravel ratio for the ground floor slab. For the ground floor slab, as in the first slab, is 1 to 3 to 6. And if you didn't understand that, please go back to our previous video and watch it. For this first floor slab, which is called the ground floor decking, the ratio is 1 to 2 to 4. That means 1 bag of cement for 2 bags of sand and 4 bags of gravel, stones. Now this mixture is less dense than that of the ground floor, because the first floor is not taking as much weight as the ground floor. Hence, that's the reason why. Guys, I've got 2 wonderful videos to show you right now coming up on your screen. We'll start with the first one, and this is the day that the guys were preparing and to mixing the concrete and then delivering it up to the ground floor decking, or the top first floor decking if you like, and casting the concrete. So this first video coming up on your screen, you can see they've put together like a pulley type structure from the ground to the first, and the guys have mixed the gravel and the sand and the cement, mix it all up, and then the pulley system delivers it up to high level, tips it onto a wheelbarrow, and the guys go away and pour it onto the first floor decking. And obviously when it gets poured, there's somebody up there on the first floor decking who is dressing the concrete using the normal strip of timber wood that they use to pat on the concrete to get rid of all the air pockets and smoothing it over, make it even. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And in the next video, you can see the same operation happening, but from the top view. You can see the concrete being poured into the wheelbarrow, and the guys. You can see all the planks on the sort of the bare iron rods, so they can take the wheelbarrows on and pour it, and so on and so forth. So that's the operation, really.
It's a pretty intense work.
Yeah, it is.
Dragging the wheelbarrow and
Well, look at the guys. You can see they're strong guys.
They are
macho men, macho man. Yeah, strong men. And basically that operation took 2 days. 2 days to complete the casting of the first floor decking. Now, once the first floor decking is completely cast, it takes 21 days. The recommended period to leave the concrete is 21 days. For proper hardening, strengthening, 21 good days. However, the guys are able to step onto it after about 7 to 10 days and begin to build further block work on it, as long as the bamboo is still supporting the decking underneath.
Did they have to pour water on it this time, like they did the foundation?
You mean sprinkle water to help it in the drying process? Yeah. They sprinkle water to help it. It helps the drying. Absolutely. But the 21 days and 7 days, 7 to 10 days I talked about is very important, because one of the workers who worked both on our side and another side had a significant, serious injury. Thank Yehovah it wasn't fatal. But basically, he's working on another side where, for whatever reason, they decided not to wait for the 7 days. They removed the bamboos from underneath. He went up there to start putting the blocks up, and then bang, collapsed. He fell. Not only was he seriously injured, thank Yehovah it wasn't fatal, seriously injured, but obviously it cost the builder and the owner more money to rectify that, and obviously loss of time as well. So they have to go back, rectify the damage, and then get back to the drawing board. So it's very important to have patience at that time to make sure it's a virtue to make sure the concrete is fully dry, and just divert the workers to somewhere else while the concrete is allowed to dry, and divert them onto the fence wall or whatever you. There's so many things to do in the house. Just divert them. So guys, on your screen now, I just want to share with you the list of materials that were used for this stage of works. The first stage of the superstructure, from ground to, if you like, the first floor decking. You can see the list on your screen. The iron rods, the sand, the cement 42.5R. I explained that in a previous video, so if you don't understand what 42.5R means, please go back to our previous videos to find out, because that's an important aspect you need to know when buying cement. You can see the iron rods, the different sizes, the wawa boards, the bamboos. Very important. When it comes to using the bamboos, you need to buy them to use immediately and not store, because if you store them, they tend to dry up You need to buy them immediately and then use. So, guys, you can see.
You can reuse them, can't you?
Yeah, you can reuse them. Yes, you can.
Because you said it will dry up because
when it's not under force.
Or when it's not under force.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you buy them, but you can't reuse them. Yeah.
Right. When it's not under force. So when you take it out, obviously you have to wait to finish.
Exactly, and then transfer.
Then what happens? Is it gonna dry out?
No, I think
once is it still gonna be up there until you're ready to
go to the first floor. Exactly. So you stay on the ground floor.
Oh, okay.
Once you've got to the first floor roof, let's say, then you can transfer from ground.
Okay.
To
otherwise,
first.
don't take it out.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't take it out. Keep it. We kept ours there until it was ready to.
Ready to take it to the next level.
Yes, but what we did, that's a good question. What we did though, ultimately, you're not going to be able to reuse all the bamboo sticks. We were able to reuse about, let's say, 30 to 40%, because they will lose strength.
Okay.
Because they're supporting a massive amount of weight for 21 days, and you can see some cracks come into it. They'll lose strength. So you have to observe them, monitor them, and then get rid of the ones that have lost strength, and only reuse the ones that you still have power, still have strength in them, and then supplement.
Well, you order new ones.
And order new ones, yeah.
Right.
Order new ones to supplement the 30% that you reuse. Exactly. So that's a very, very good point. I almost forgot that.
That's alright.
Exactly. So you look at the list of materials and the cost there, guys. That was really so. In terms of what we call stage B, that was from ground, the blockwork from ground to the first floor decking, and all the concrete works there was about 102, typically 102,000 Ghana cedis. So that will help you budget as well if you are at that stage or nearing that stage or wanting to build. And you can see the various items cost there as well. So hopefully that will help you in whatever stage you are at and whatever desires you have regarding building your land, a dream home. Sorry, building your dream home. Yes, exactly. We don't build land, do we?
Yeah.
So guys, we hope that was useful once again, and really that's a wrap for today. Yeah. So as usual, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and so that you always know when Asher and Gad upload new videos. And we like to bring at least 2 videos a week to you, so stay tuned, for there is so much more to share on our journey building our dream home and ultimately making Africa home again. So it's from you, guys, take it easy. See you next time. Bye.